Okay, hello everybody. Welcome. My name is Taro, and I am here with the Onyxia's Lair card review. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Usually, when I do this, I do a written analysis. I go through a lot of research on my own, and then what I end up doing is I end up posting the card reviews. If I do a written card review like this, I already know what I'm going to say. I have not really looked at all these cards because they just came out a couple of days ago. So, for this, most of these cards I'm going in blind. This is a lot different from how I usually do things. This will kind of be like my thought process behind how I do things. So again, my rating system here, it's similar one I use. It's similar to the Hearth Arena rating system. So for this, if I give you a score of a 7-star card, that means I'm just going to go like star ratings like this. 7 stars, it's a card, it's broken, shouldn't be there. 6 stars means it's going to be an absurdly powerful card. It's a card that's honestly too powerful for Arena. 5 stars, these are cards that are class-defining cards. A 4-star card, these are cards that can swing the game. They're the really good cards. These are cards you want most of your deck to be. A 3-star card, this is a card where you get what is expected for your mana cost. A 2-star card, these are basically the average cards. These are the stat fillers. These are the cards you have to take for your deck. A 1-star card, these are cards that are bad cards. They have a situational upside, but they're not really that great. Like, maybe it can be good, but it's very rarely going to be good. And then finally, 0-star cards. These are cards you should never pick. So, okay. This is from the old set. This is from the last set. I just haven't deleted this, so let me delete all this. And then I will do this for the new set. This is just me sorting out stuff. All right. So let's start off. We got here Wings of Hate. Wings of Hate, this is a Demon Hunter rare. So 1 mana, summon 2 1/1 Fel Rings, upgrade when you have 5 mana. Alright, very simple. What's a similar card? So that would be here, Wolpertinger. Load. Okay, like this. Alright, there, Wolpertinger. 1 mana, 1/1, summon another 1/1. It's similar to Lost in the Jungle, the Paladin one. So you can see this one, it's a high 70s card. So, because why? Because it's great 1-drop. So this one, like, I'll say this, the upgrade doesn't really make it that good. I mean, summoning 4 Fel Wings, summoning 4 1/1s for 1 mana at 10 mana, when you have 10 mana, is kind of not really that strong. So it's definitely better, but it's not that much better. So, going back to the scores here, it's still a 4-star card. Like, Wolpertinger is a 4-star card. This is like a mid to high 4-star card. But yeah, Wings of Hate, 4 stars. Because it's really not that much more powerful. Alright, let's keep going here. Keen Reflex. 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions. Honorable kill, gain +1 attack this turn. So, Whirlwind that costs 1 more mana, but your hero gets 1 attack. Is that really better than Whirlwind? I'm saying no. I don't like Whirlwind is okay, but spending 2 mana on a Whirlwind is pretty bad. So like you can see Whirlwind, it's down here. This is kind of like a borderline. So you see Whirlwind is like a borderline 2-star card, right? Borderline 2-star card, an average card you have to take. I don't know. I can't say if it's better or worse. Situationally better, situationally worse. I'll go 2 stars on this one. Yeah, 2 stars. It just looks like a worse Whirlwind with an upside that can potentially be useful. All right, Razorglaive Sentinel. After you play the left or rightmost card in your hand, draw a card. There is a Mage Legendary Starseer Luna. Is Luna in the game? Oh, Stargazer Luna. Yeah. Stargazer Luna. After you play the rightmost card in your hand, draw a card. And that's a 3 mana 2/4. And you can see that's a 76. This is a 4 mana 4/5. It can be the right or leftmost card. and draw a card. Like, what the fuck, Blizzard? Okay, yeah. All right. Usually I try to contain my language, but seriously, what the fuck? I know from Wild from that this was like a key card for mage decks, right? Like, I think in Wild, there are decks literally built around Stargazer Luna, just completely emptying out the entire deck. I know in Arena, this effect is not that hard to go off. I mean, Stargazer Luna, you could say it's underrated here at a 76. Like, okay, hold on. Let me go. All right, Stargazer Luna. Her deck win rate for Mage is like a 58, right? I mean, we take a look. All the cards in the game. Look here. Ysera, box. Baby box. Jandis, Ronthgar, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11th best card. Flame Strike. It's like just barely below Flame Strike, just barely above Spammy Arcanist in a class that really likes it. Like, and you give it better stats, much better stats as a drop to probably the I honestly have not kept up with the arena ratings. I think Demon Hunter is still the best arena class, is it? Yeah, Demon Hunter is still the best arena class, and they get a common. They get a common Stargazer Luna, except better. Like, seriously. All right, this is one that like actually shocks me about this. I'm like dumbfounded. I can't believe it. I don't know how, why. I don't know. All right, this is easily 100. The question is it a 120? This is easily 6 stars. I just don't know if it's 7 stars or not. All right, and here's the reason why I'm not. So if you take a look at 6 stars, these are cards that have like an immediate impact on the board, right? I mean, let's go through. Okay, I have to actually run through this. Like, you can see the legendaries here that have like an immediate game-changing impact on the board. And like, you run down this, there are cards like that. Like Abominable Lieutenant, it's not in there. It's not that swingy. It might actually just be a high 5-star card. Like, I might be getting upset about it, but it may actually just be a high 5-star card and I'm thinking about it. Okay. You see, this is what happens. Like, this is where I need that time to kind of like process and then think about things. Because I'm going to say this. This is an absolutely insane card draw engine. I'm looking for... Like, okay, so this is the best comparison I can think of. A Twilight Runner. Like, in terms of a card that you just drop it and it can do things. And I'm going to say this. This is worse than Twilight Runner. Okay, so it's not even 6 stars. It's just like a high 5-star card. But you look at Twilight Runner, and this is a card that is, if you play it, it's pretty much guaranteed to get you 2 cards. And if it lives, it's going to get you 2 cards. So you play a 5/4, I mean, that's good, but you need stuff to play with it. You can play the runner on 5 and you will get your cards on 6. You cannot play this on 4, honestly, or even on 5 unless you have like a 1-drop in your hand and guarantee that you will get something. More importantly, in Arena, because you do pick big cards, there is a good chance that the card that you might draw might be something you can't play. So, all right, 5-star card. I'm going to settle there. It's a 5-star card that never should have been printed. But yeah, this is a card. I just don't see why it's a common. Why a better Stargazer Luna is a common. All right, going over the Druid cards. Raid Negotiator, Battle Cry. Discover a choose 1 card. It has both effects combined. So 4 mana, 3/4. Discover a card, and it's a more powerful card. What's a 4 mana, 3/4? Discover a card. All right, I know there's a 4 mana, 3/4, or like a 4 mana mechanics. Discover. Where's Discover? Yep, this is the boring stuff that I think about. Okay, now Inspire, 4 mana, Discover. Okay, let's see, what do we got? Okay, 4 mana Discover card. We've got Tomb Spider. I thought there were more. Make it a wild. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. Warsong Wrangler. That, I mean, I knew there was a 4 mana 3/4 discover card. So 4 mana 3/4 Warsong Wrangler, discover a beast in your deck, give all copies of it +2/+1. All right, I'm not sure, is that going to be in the changelog? Okay, it is not there. So I have to Google. Warsong Wrangler, Hearth Arena. Hearth Arena score of 70. All right, that's where I have to kind of like think about these things. So 4 mana 3/4 discover card would be about a 70, give or take. So again, 4 mana 3/4 discover card. This card is a lot more powerful. So in the Hunter case, you get a beast with a +2/+1. In this case, you get a choose one card that has both effects combined. I don't have I don't have HS Replay set up with like the new arena sets, so I'm not going to bother going into that. Is it that much better than beast with +2/+1? Think it actually might be. Huh. All right, I'm just gonna go through. All right, 1 second. Let's go reset all filters. Arena, Druid, choose one. So I'm just looking at some of the things here. Raven Idol, draw 1 mana, draw 2 cards. 2 mana 4/3. Okay, so I'm thinking about these things. These things are actually really powerful. I mean, these are super powerful. A lot better than +2/+1. Yep. Yep. Okay. These things are a lot better than +2/+1. Okay. Yeah. This is a lot better. So I was thinking it was going to be in comparison to that, but I'm looking at the effects here, and I'm thinking about how many of these mediocre cards become really, really, really powerful cards. So you get like a 1 mana 3/3. You get the upgraded thing of that. 2 mana draw. Like you get some of these that are not really that great. But like a 2 mana 1/5 poisonous taunt. Yeah, that'd be really good. Okay. All right, all right. Yeah, I'm thinking this is a lot better than that one. And there's a lot because the beast is only going to do like a specific thing. It's just stats. It's stats that you make up for because how to describe it? You take a penalty in stats to make up for those stats later with the Wrangler. This one, the choose one effect, is a lot more powerful than that +2/+1. And in addition, you get cards that can just flat out win the game. Like if you get Oasis Surger, 2 5 mana 5/5 rushes. If you get things like Tending Toward, 6 mana, summon 2 6-drops, give everything else +1/+1. Like, yeah, just a lot of powerful stuff. All right, so does that push it into the 80 range? Because if I remember, when I go back up here, yeah, it pushes into 4-star. So if Warsong Wrangler is a 3-star, this is a 4-star. It's not 5-star powerful. Okay, so yeah, here. Raid Negotiator is going to be a 4-star card. That's the best way to describe it. Really powerful effect. The choose ones are a lot better than I initially thought. All right. Next one here. What we got? We have got Boomkin. Boomkin, choose one. Restore 8 health to your hero or deal 4 damage. 5 mana 5/4, deal 4 damage. Fire Elemental exists. Fire Elemental exists. Where's Fire Elemental? Where's Shaman? It's still got the Hearth Arena thing. They still haven't updated the stuff. But 6 mana 6/5, deal 4 damage. This is a 5 mana 4/5, deal 4 damage, or heal your hero for 8. That will actually come into play. There are going to be games where that comes into play, but it's just a cheaper fire elemental. I mean, you lose a little bit of it, but I mean, hey, imagine your opponent plays Razorglaive Sentinel. They play 4 mana 5/4, and you just play this and you remove it. So obviously, Boom Kim, really, 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 really good. Like I know that the current arena that Where's Arena? Class cards. Like Fire Elemental in the current arena doesn't show up as strong as the as it shows up in HS Replay, but it's still a really, really, really good card. And I think a lot of that is just how much Fire Elemental is picked. It's one of these things where it just gets overpicked. So Fire Elemental, it's still like a borderline 5 to 6 star card. I'm gonna go Boomkin. I'm saying 6 stars. Let's see here. I forgot. Great Negotiator, 4 star. Boomkin, 6 star. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. It's just a better Fire Elemental. Okay, so Druid, 2 really good cards. Scale of Onyxia. Fill your boards with 2/1 whelps that with rush. All right, let me think here. There's a card. I'm trying to think of the card. It's a hunter card. It has locusts in it's like a locust swarm, something along those lines. The hunter one is 6 mana. Okay, it may be like a duels thing. I'm not sure. Okay, there. Okay, I thought of it. Swarm of Locusts. This was like, okay, the duels one, it's like a bees one and it's 2/2s. So the hunter one, they get 7 locusts with rush, which is basically fill your board of locusts that have rush. And this was a pretty good card in arena. I don't think it was a game-breaking card. I'm just going to double check. Is that in? I'm just going to. Okay, it is. Okay, yeah. So it actually is in arena. Good enough. Okay, so Swarm of Locusts. This is a good card, right? So you get a 7 mana version of that, which does twice as much damage. I mean, if you look at it, if you have an empty board, there is nothing on the board, you get a 14/7 worth of stats for 7 mana. Like, that's really, really, really good. Also, you're playing Druid. Druid gets board buffs. You play this, and then you get a board buff, and you can make them 3/1s. You can make them 3/2s. You can do a lot of things with this. This is a really, really good card. It's a better version of Swarm of Locusts. That's what I'm thinking. So again, Sworn Locust is like a high 3-star card. This is like going to be like a 4, high 4. Am I going to say the Kennels? I know the Kennels is good. Is it better than the Kennels? Maybe. Is it better than Survival of the Fittest? I'm not sure. I don't think it's better than Survival of the Fittest. Like, I'm looking here at 90 cards. Would I take this over to Frostwolf? Would I take this over the Adept? This is like... Okay, Scenarios. Would I take this over that? Okay. You know what? I actually would, because I was trying to think of it and I just realized a much better comparison. And that would be Expendable Performers. Expendable Performers was 7 mana, summon 1/1s, and if you cleared off the board, summon another bunch of them. So you could do things with, and that was like one of the most broken cards ever printed. So Expendable Performers, you effectively dealt 14 damage total, and you could split it up. And then you could also have things there. This is pretty much it's not the same thing, but you get the same total amount of damage that you can do to the enemy. So when I think of it from that perspective, okay, it's easily a 5-star card. Do I want to say it's over 100 now? Is it a 6-star card? And I'm going to say no, because I think that there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to overkill and not be able to spend the damage. But obviously, like, it's a really, really, really powerful card. So, okay. Looks like we are playing Hunter. Sorry, not Hunter. Looks like Druid is on the menu. I'm going to say 5-star. I'm going to say it's just off the level of like a 100 card. I'm going to say it's like mid-90s, around that. Just thinking about comparable cards. Okay. Hunter card here. Furious Howl. Draw a card. Repeat until you have at least 3 cards. All right. So this is 2 mana, at least draw 1, maybe draw 2, and then and it's only draw 2 if your hand's empty, and then draw 3 at the absolute most. What would that be? I mean, let's be honest. In Arena, you don't really have empty hands, so I think this is going to be awkward for Hunter. Like, I'm not like better than Arcane Intellect. Arcane Intellect you can just cast if you have that. Maybe in the 60s. So that's probably like a 3-star card. Yeah, probably 3 stars. Because you're not going to have. You are not okay. So you are not going to have like a hand an empty hand to really get used to this, to really get to use this, except in like a really weird situation. So otherwise, it's a 2 mana Arcane Intellect with things, with like what's the word I'm looking for? Not caveats, with restrictions. So because of that, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be. I think it'll be a little bit better because someone probably wants more draw, but I don't know. Okay, Dragonbane Shot. 2 mana, deal 2 damage, honorable kill. Add a Dragonbane Shot to your hand. Huh. Huh. Potentially infinite value that your opponent knows about. It can also go face. It can also go face because it's not just 2 damage. So, what would that be? I'm trying to think. There was. Card just got nerfed. Card just got nerfed. The Demon Hunter card, which was like. No. Twin Spell in Hunter. They just had one where it was like 1 mana, deal 2 damage, and then honorable kill, or not honorable kill, and then Battlecry, put another copy of this card into your hand. Something along those lines. It's a 1 mana Hunter spell, just got nerfed for, I want to say Wild Hunter. Is it on here? Alright. Again, let me look through here. Hunter, 6 mana, 1 mana. What is it? Oh no, it's 2 mana now, right? Rapid fire. Okay. So it's a rapid fire. Do that hunters still have rapid fire? Okay, they haven't updated it for Hearth Arena yet. Okay, so no rapid fire. All right, I'm trying to think of a comparable thing here, and rapid fire was kind of like the first thing that came to mind, and it was a lot worse than that. All right, I'm gonna say this. This is not really a good card. 2 mana deal 2 is useful. Like, okay, it's mediocre, but something you can use. The fact that you can get a copy of it with the honorable kill is like useful, but it's still 2 mana deal 2. It's like you're getting infinite value on an effect that's mediocre that has a condition attached to it. So, like, I give you an example. One of my favorite cards, and it's not really a good card, was Explorer's Hat. So Explorer's Hat was 2 mana, give a minion +1/+1, and then you get the hat back. So that's like a card where you got a mediocre effect, but you ended up getting the hat back. But there was no conditions on it, and so that's why it was a playable card. Here, the effect's obviously a lot better than the hat, but the condition is a lot worse than the hat. Hat is, I think Ungoro? Not Ungoro, no, not Journey to Ungoro. Saber. League of Explorers. League of Explorers, I think, had something along those lines. All right, let me get back here. All right, point being, is it necessarily better than an Arcane Shot? Would you say it's better than Arcane Shot? Does the fact that you pay... Okay, yeah, okay, I'm getting right here. I don't think it's better than Arcane Shot. I think Arcane Shot's flexibility is a lot better than the potential to have like an infinite number of these. Because the restriction just means it's not going to happen that much. All right, so if we're going to go in there, that's going to be in about a 40 to 60 range. That would be about 2-star cards. All right, so that's where like I have to like think about and process things there. So 2 stars. Okay, next card here, Pet Collector. Summon a beast from your deck that costs 5 or less. Okay, this is Arena. You can't really build a deck around this. Like, I could see in... Okay, you could build a deck around this, but I don't think you're necessarily going to be able to do this. This was, there was the Recruiter. The Recruiter. Well, what's the Recruiter's name? I think it's, is it in here? Okay, Guild Recruiter, yeah. So, Guild Recruiter. 5 mana 2/4 Recruiter minion that costs 4 or less. This is a 5 mana 3/3 that summons a beast, recruits a beast that costs 5 or less. Okay. So, of course, there's like a lot of powerful 5 mana beasts. There's RNG, what you're going to get. And because there's RNG, this is a card. Okay, it's a 2-star card. It's definitely a 2-star card. There's potential here. Because I do think that there is a way where if you pick this up early on, that you can kind of manipulate the results so that you're pulling out something powerful. So this is one of those weird cards where I think there's potential, but I don't think it's going to be reliable enough. And again, because it's beasts, you can do some things with there. Okay. So, okay cards for Hunter. They didn't really get that much. All right. Mage, what did they get? Deep Breath. Deal 1 damage to a minion and its neighbors, improved by the number of other spells in your hand. All right. So, for this to be a good card, for this to be a pickable card, what would you want it to be? How much damage? Probably 3 damage. 5 mana, deal 3 damage to 3 things. Yep. Yeah, that's probably. So you need 2 other spells for it to be like a decent card or a good card. Otherwise, it's a 5 mana shooting star. It's Arena. Again, and that's the thing. It's Arena. Usually, and things that have like where you need multiple spells in your hand. There's going to be situations this is going to be absolutely insane. I think the majority of situations this is going to be mediocre. I don't know. Okay, let me just take a look here. All right, Arena. All right, type spell mage. All right. I'm just going to take a look. Like, how many spells are you expected to have in your deck? And I'm just running through this here. All right. So, and I'll multiply this by like 1.1 at the end. Okay. Okay. 3, 6, 9, 1.1, 1.3, 1.5, 1.7, 1.9, 2.1, 2.3, 2.6, 3. Okay. So you see the. Okay. So you're going to have maybe 4 spells. I'm just doing like quick math here. You'll have maybe 4 spells in your deck on average. And some of them can be things that discover spells, things like that. But, so are you really going to have this spell in there, then plus 2 other spells in there, in your hand, for this to be a decent card? Because even if it's only 1 spell, deal 2 damage to 3 things, that's like a bad power shot. That's a power shot that costs 2 more mana. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's a 1-star card. Yeah, 4 Arena 1 stars. Or 1 star. Okay, next one here. Hale Matron Protectorate. After you cast a spell, deal 4 damage randomly split among enemies. 8 mana 4/12 is bad. Pickable, but bad. The effect, you need a bunch of cheap spells. Like, you can't really combo this on the same turn. It's kind of like okay. The effect is good enough that I would put it at like a low 2-star level, because I don't think you're going to get it in Arena. Like, it could potentially do something, but it costs so much, it has such a restrictive effect that I'd say this is like maybe high 30s or maybe a low 40s. And I think the effect can win you enough games that I would put it at a low 40s because, again, it can go face. It can just skip out on the minions. All right, so here. Protectorate. Low 2-star for that one. Drakefire Amulet, tradable, discover 2 dragons, summon them. Okay. I assume this means you discover each dragon independently. So the thing with discovering the dragons is that so many of the dragons, their effects are... let me see here. But you're paying 10 mana for it. So I think Mage Scribe is going to be out. I'm not sure if Proto Drake's... If you get Proto Drake, a single Proto Drake, that's obviously insane. But, like, you take a look here. Like, okay, there are some options. But what I mean here is something like Ysera. Ysera's effect is the battle cry. Its effect is the battle cry. Some of the death rattles might be useful. Like even you'll probably get a 412 though, right? You'll probably get a 412. Or you'll get an option for something along that range. 10 mana, discover 2 412s. What would that be? And it's also tradable. Alright, so you're paying 10 mana for a bunch of stats with the tradable option in the early to mid game. To me, I'm going to say that's not, I think, is Saviors of Oldunman, because what I am thinking of is there is the 10 mana neutral. Okay, get rid of dragon. There's a 10 mana neutral legendary. No. Colossus of the Moon. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Colossus of the Moon. This is kind of like what I was thinking. You're spending 10 mana to get a ton of stats, but if those stats don't actually do anything, then it's just kind of wasted. Right? Because Colossus of the Moon is a 10 mana 10/10 with Divine Shield with Reborn, which means you have to knock off the Divine Shield, then kill it, then knock off the Divine Shield, and then kill it again. And that's a ton of stats, and it's, again, one body makes it worse. But that's really not that good of a card, right? Compared to something like a Scrapyard Colossus. Scrapyard Colossus, you get 2 giant taunts that people actually have to deal with. And that's like, if we go over here, yeah, Colossus of the Moon is a 50. So is this going to necessarily be better? I think 2 412s would probably be better than the Colossus of the Moon because you can split it up. But I don't think it's that much better. So yeah, unless there's like some dragons, and maybe I'll go back, like, and we saw the Mage Dragon, so it would have to be like a neutral dragon that just does something insane. I'm going to say that this... Okay, let me just check something. Because one thing I do know is I know Descent of Dragons is coming in. So if I go to Wild and sets, where's sets? Actually, I don't need that. I can go back to dragons. Okay, Wild, Dragons, Mage. Okay, if you got Evasive Draconid, that would be really good. Evasive Worm, getting 2 of those would actually be really, really good. That's mediocre, that's mediocre, that's mediocre. Alright, so there's 2 options here, and there are 2 really good options. Evasive Draconid and Evasive Worm would be extremely powerful if you get them, and they're coming in with Descent of Dragons. Is that enough to push it over? Is that enough to push to a 60? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's still a 2-star card. All right. Yeah, sometimes this is the boring stuff where I got to kind of like figure this out and figure out like what's the comparison. And the comparison is Colossus of the Moon, but you have to factor in like what are some powerful things. I say 2 stars. All right. 27 more ranges there. Paladin, Ring of Courage, tradable. Give a minion +1/+1. Repeat for each enemy minion. Okay. If there's 1 minion on the board, it's a +2/+2 buff. If there's 2 minions on the board, it's +3/+3 buff. If there's 7 minions on the board, it's a +8/+8 buff. And it's tradable. Okay, here's my thoughts are. Buffs are really, really, really good in the early to mid game. Because in the early to mid game, that's where the buffs can make an immediate impact and give you control over the board. In the mid to late game, buffs kind of fall off. They fall off in power. They become a lot less powerful. That's kind of my thought. Let's go. Actually, let's do this. Let's look at some Paladin buffs. Let's look at some Paladin buffs. Spell. Okay, let's see here. Like, okay, I'm going to just do a couple of these things. Are there any other Paladin buffs? Blessing of Kings. Okay, so turn details. Like if you take a look here, Blessing of Kings, turn 3, turn 4, so like when it's played. If you play it on turn 3, it's mediocre because you're coining it out on something. Turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, turn 7. So you see here, this is kind of like what I was talking about. Blessing of Kings, it's at its most powerful on like turn 4 or turn 5 or turn 6, and afterwards it does not become that great of a card. Hand of a Doll, I do not know. The data is not showing up. I don't know why. Maybe because it's not in there. I'm not sure. Okay, maybe Hand of a Doll is not in there. Let me see. Where are there other buffs to prove this? Blessing of Authority is a buff. Pharaoh's Blessing is a buff. Hold the Bridge. Alright, so let's take a look. Blessing of Authority is really powerful on turn 5. And then it drops off the later in the game you go, right? Same thing. Pharaoh's Blessing. Like, okay, so you play this on turn 6. You can see it kind of drops off. It has like these little peaks where it comes back up. But its most powerful is by far where you play it on curve. Something like Hold the Bridge. It's bad on 4 because you're generally giving up a mana. And then the further the game goes, the worse it becomes. But this one actually kind of maintains its abilities. It maintains its effectiveness, but it does generally trend downward the later the game goes. So here's the problem with Ring of Courage. This is not a card you can really play on turn 2 or turn 3 or turn 4 because the enemy is not going to have that many minions on that turn, right? So it's one of those like mid-game things. Like it's a 2-mana buff that you want to play to get its effect. Like on turn 2, you might get a +2/+2 out of it. So it's one of those things you play in the mid-game. But in the mid-game, as we've shown, like the buffs, they tend to get worse as the game goes along. This is a card. It becomes like, if it's useless, it's tradable. And that actually can be a thing. Like, if this is the late game and your opponent doesn't have anything on the board, you can trade it for something else. I mean, that's actually really good. So, where I am with this. Is this better than the Blessing of Kings? I don't think so. I don't think. I think it's a little bit too situational to be better than the Blessing of Kings. And Blessing of Kings is nowadays only like a low 4-star card. So yeah, okay, I'm gonna go 3 stars. I can't, again, thought process. I have to run through this and kind of just like think about what everything is gonna happen. So Ring of Courage, 3-star card. Battle Vicar. Battle Cry, discover holy spell. 2 mana, 1/3. There is a 2 mana, 1/3 discover a spell that was that just came in. I forget like a lot of the recent card names because I have not been playing as much Arena as I have like in the past. So 2 mana, discover. I remember the card being pretty good. I remember being like, I'm trying to think, what is it? I think it was actually in the last set. Like if I think it was not actually, I think it was in the United and Stormwind one. Yeah, I think United and Stormwind, Pandaren Importer, right? 2 mana, 1/3, discover a spell that didn't start in your deck. Well, this is 2 mana, 1/3, discover a holy spell, right? And I remember Pandaren Importer being good. All right, so I have to go here. Pandaren Importer, Hearth Arena score, yeah, it was like about 70-ish, right? All right. So if we go to okay, so you discover a Paladin holy spell. So you go to Paladin, Arena, and spell type holy. And what do you get? I mean, these are good. They're not really game breaking. I'm not sure if this is better than the Pandaren Importer. I don't think a Paladin Holy spell would really put it above a 75. So yeah, probably just like a 3-star card. What's the name? All right. Stormwind Avenger, 3 mana, 1/5. After you cast a spell, this minion gains +2 attack. You need spells, and you need to cast it on the minion. So really, it's a 3 mana, 1/5. So 3 mana, 1/5, that's bad. I mean, any 3 mana, 1/5 that you cast a spell on, that you cast a buff on, is going to immediately become really, really good anyways. So, like, because Paladin buffs, they usually buff stats, right? So if it became a 3 mana, 2/6 with a spell, that'd be really, really good. Becoming a 3 mana, 4/6 is like, okay. But yeah, this is 1-star. This is not good. Maybe there are situations, maybe there are decks where you can get it. Yeah, it's a situational card that's going to almost always be bad. All right, continuing from here. Priest, Horn of Rathian. Draw a minion. If it's dragon, summon 2/1/1 whelps with rush. This is Arena. You're not going to be able to guarantee dragon draws. So it's 3 mana, draw a minion. That's 1-star. Just bad. Lightmon Netherdick, Battlecry. If you're holding a holy and a shadow spell, deal 3 damage to all other minions. Alright. We went over the thing with Mage before, and it's the same issue with Priest. So you need a holy spell and a shadow spell. So you run through just how many holy spells do you end up having? Like, alright, you do it like this. This is about 5, this is about 7, this is about 9, this is about 1.1. Maybe 1.5 to 2 holy spells. If you do shadow spells, that's less, maybe 1. So, I mean, with the priest, with the whatchamacallit, So I know how this works. I know you want to play this with something like a Spirit Guide, because Spirit Guide draws both of those, and then you can have this, and you can clear off the board. Okay, I don't think that's going to happen. Like, this is a mediocre to bad card. I'd say it's 1 star, maybe 2 stars. Like, I'm trying to think here. What are... Okay, I'm not sure if it's 1 star. Like, I'm trying to think here. What's an example? I'm sad they rated that low. It should be higher. Oh, it should be like the Drekar. Okay, there. Okay, so they rank these as a 44. Okay, so that's 2 stars then. So the 4 mana 4/4, it's basically a 4 mana 4/4 with like a situational upside. That's never going to happen. It's still 4 mana 4/4, so that's like a low 2-star card. All right. Mida, Pure Light, Divine Shield, Life Steal, Death Rattle, shuffle a fragment into your deck that resummons Mida when drawn. So this is a 6 mana 4/6 Divine Shield, Life Steal on its own that might be able to resummon it for free. We've had these cards before. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I know we have had these cards before, but generally I don't remember them being all that good. Or like the effect, it's like a bonus effect, but it's a minor bonus effect, like the shuffle. Let me see here. I'm actually gonna. All right, I'm gonna go. So reset filters, wild, sparse, shuffle. So I'm just trying to think, what are some examples of this? Maybe make it a minion. So like the shuffle something into your effect of the prime cards. Okay, the prime cards. That's kind of what I was thinking of. So it's like they're the okay. So the prime cards, huh? The prime cards did sometimes happen. The prime okay. So the prime cards were a thing. Okay, yeah, this is kind of like my mind has to go from one place to another here. Mida Pure Light is alright. So 6 mana 4/6 Divine Shield with Life Steal is probably about a 70-ish card. High 60s, low 70s. And it shuffles a prime into your deck that is a 0 mana 4/6 Divine Shield. This prevents fatigue, which is not really a factor, but it kind of is a factor. This gets better as the game goes along. It doesn't have the blowout potential that a lot of other prime cards have to immediately win the game, which lowers it. So it's not, I don't think it's going to raise above 80. The question, okay, so I'm thinking, is it a low 70s or high 70s card? Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. So with Cairn, you get a worse minion, but you get it immediately on the board. So is it worse than Cairn? Probably. So it's definitely under 80. I'm trying to think, what are some other cards? Alright, I think I'm going to say I would have it under a 75, so it'd probably be about a 3-star card. I mean, it's good. Sorry. I mean, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. I'm just trying to think. I don't think in Arena it does enough by itself to really be a great card. I think it's strong, but I don't think that the 0 mana 4/6, I don't think it really has the blowout potential, especially this late in the game. Alright, Rogue R, 3 mana 1/3, Battle Cry, summon a random minion with cost equal to the amount of SI7 cards you have played this game. Does Rogue even really play, do you really even play SI7 cards in Arena? Reset filters, Rogue, Arena. SI7. No. Rogue does not play SI7 cards. So, what does that mean? It's a 3 mana 1/3, summon a 1/1. Which, fine. Okay, 1 star. Yeah, 1 star. Wait. No, it's still 1 star. Alright, so here's what I was thinking. Does this count itself? So if you play this, are you going to get a 1-drop out of this? That's what I'm curious about. If you play this, will you get a 1? No. Alright, and nobody knows. So that's the thing I'm thinking. If you play this and you're guaranteed to get like a 1/1, then it's easily a 1-star card. If you get a random 1-drop out of this, then it's kind of like it might be a low 2-star card. I'm gonna say 1-star card just because I don't know. Like the effect playing other SI7 cards. This could be a low 2-star card if it procs off itself. Tooth of Nefarian. Deal 3 damage, honorable kill, discover a spell from another class. Alright. Compare this to Deliverance. Where's Deliverance? 3 mana. Deal 3 damage to a minion, honorable kill, summon a new 3/3 copy of it. Would you rather discover a spell from another class, or would you rather have a 3/3 copy of a minion immediately? So a 3/3 is kind of like about 2 mana's worth of value. Discovering a spell is worth about 1 mana's worth of value. If you put discover a spell at, so it's kind of situational. I think on curve the 3/3 is better. I think in the mid to late game the discover a spell becomes better. So I think it's a comparable card, and this can go face. So there are games where you'll win just by having like bonus face damage. All right. So thinking about that, it's comparable to Deliverance. I don't think it falls below a 75, so I think it falls as like a 4-star card. Smokescreen. Draw 5 cards, trigger any death rattles when drawn, 1 star. Okay, 8 mana, draw 5, just by itself is mediocre. Like, there's sprint. They buff sprint, and sprint's not even that good anymore, is it? Let me see here. I know. All right. Sprint, it should be 6 mana, draw 4 cards. They buff sprint, and it's a mediocre card. 8 mana, draw 5. You get to refresh your deck, but you don't really get to do anything with it. Actually, let me think. I'll move it up to 2. I'll be generous. Like, maybe the death rattle thing could work, because if you trigger any death rattles drawn, with 5 cards, you might have a chance to trigger a death rattle. So there's a chance this actually could be okay. So I'll say it's a low 2. It's like in the low 40s, but it's a low 2. All right. Shaman cards. 2 mana 1/2. Give a minion +1/+2 and spell damage +1. When it dies, summon a Spirit Raptor. So it summons the same thing. Okay, the buff is mediocre. The spell damage in Arena is mediocre. You get a 1/2/1/2 out of it. 3 stars. Probably 3 stars. I know there was the Paladin card. I forget the name. There was a... I'm trying to remember. There's the Paladin card that was like 2 mana. Give a minion 1/1 Divine Shield. Summon a 1/1 Divine Shield. And that was decent. Like, that was like about a 4-star card. I don't think it's that good. I think the 1/2 and... So, yeah, I'll say 3 stars. I think 3 stars. It's an okay buff. It's not really a great buff. You get Death Rattle off of it. That's not that bad. Bracing Cold, 2 mana. Restore 5 health to your hero. Reduce the cost of a random spell in your hand by 2. 1 star. If this card said 0 mana, restore 5 health to your hero, that would be a 1 star card. So yeah, this is basically what that says. And if you don't have a random spell in your hand, you get a random discount in hand. It's not worth it. No. Like, this is for like combo stuff, and you're not going to do the combo stuff in arena. Don't stand in the fire. Deal 10 damage randomly split among enemy minions. Overload 1. This is kind of like Volcano. This is Volcano, except you overload less and you deal less damage. And you don't have to hit your own minions, which makes it a lot better than Volcano. Which is... I forget. Volcano was not in, right? I think Journey to Un'Goro is coming in. I'm pretty sure Yeah, Volcano is not in. So if I go here, I look for... Volcano, does it say anywhere? Alright, I'm not going to bother with that. Okay. Alright, so there's a Volcano in here. I can approximate using this. This is where I can approximate using, like, old Hearth Arena things. So Volcano is actually rated pretty well. Alright, so Volcano, if you forget, deal 15 damage split among all minions, overload 2. Okay, so deal 10 damage split among enemy minions, overload 1, means it's a lot better than a regular Volcano. Because this can clear a single thing, this can clear multiple things, you overload for a lot less. So yeah, this is a really powerful removal. Is it better than a Hex? Is the question. Would I take this over a Hex? A Hex is really, really, really good. Where would I take this? Okay, so if Volcano is like a 70s to 80s card, where would this be? Better than Earthquake is. Okay, so the question is, better than Lightning Storm. I know that that's the old one here. Better than Lightning Storm. Yes. Okay, so yeah. Alright. So it's around Hex level. So probably a 5-star card. So like yeah, I have to kind of like figure it out there. Don't stand in the fire, 1-star card. Okay. Curse of Agony, shuffle 3 Agonies into the opponent's deck. They deal fatigue damage when they're drawn. It's 1 mana to deal potentially 6 damage, and that is a 0-star card. Don't pick this, it's worthless. Spawn of Deathwing, battlecry. Destroy a random enemy minion, discard a random card. 5 mana, 6/6. Kill it with a deadly shot on it, but you discard a card. Is the card in your hand worth... I'm trying to do, like, in my head, like, the mental calculations. What are you going to see on the board versus what is going to be in your hand? Alright. So what I say here, Spawn of Death. Okay, this is obviously a good card. I'm just trying to figure out how good it is. If I go over to Warlock, I'm trying to think. There's Rift Cleaver. Okay, it's definitely worse than Rift Cleaver because Rift Cleaver guarantees it. So having a deadly shot effect. I'm trying to think here. There was a Hunter Dragon which had something similar. I think there was a Hunter Descent of Dragons card that had basically deadly shot on a dragon or something. Or no, that was a poisonous one. There was a hunter card, I want to say, that had, okay, what's the effect? Okay, what's the exact text again? Destroy a random enemy minion. Wild. Rottennest Drake, yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. If you're holding a dragon, destroy a random enemy minion. I was getting this one confused because there's like the 3/7 hunter card. Like if you're holding a dragon, poisonous. I was trying to get them in my head. All right, so if you're holding a dragon, destroy a random enemy minion. So you don't need to hold a dragon, but you're guaranteed to discard a card. This was really, really powerful. Okay, no, don't worry about that. All right. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. I'm just trying to think of how good it is. So like, okay, it's not hollow. It's going to. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the 90s or if it's going to be in the 80s. 5 mana, 6/6. I think the discard a card effect and the fact that there's a lot of tokens out there. I think this is one of those cards where I think it's going to feel worse than it actually is, and it is a good card, and it's going to feel worse than it is. I still don't think it breaks 90. So I think it's a 4-star card. Okay, yeah, that's where I'm at. 4-star card. Agony. Infestation. Summon a 3/3 Dread Imp to attack each enemy minion. So this is basically 6 mana, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions, and sometimes summon something. I don't know a comparable card to that. Six mana, deal 3 damage to each enemy minion would be good. That would be probably 70s-ish. Okay, 4 stars, yeah. I'm trying to think here. Like, I'm not sure if it's a high 4-star card or if it's a low 4-star card, but this to me is easily a 4-star card. Like, I'm trying to think here. 6 mana, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions would be probably about a 3-star card, give or take. And now the fact that if you have tokens on the board, it can clear off the tokens. You can have things left on the board. That is really powerful. And, like, you just don't play it if you have things on the board. I don't think it's good enough to be 5 stars. It's like it's not a Flame Strike level card. Okay, where are we? We are on Warrior. We are almost done with this. Okay, hit it very hard. Gained an attack and can't attack heroes this turn. So basically a giant 1 mana removal of something, as long as it doesn't have Divine Shield and it's not behind a taunt. Which is not Mortal Strike, Heroic Strike. Heroic Strike was like 2 mana deal 4 or something along this line. 1 mana deal 10. Like, clear a minion, 1 mana, kill a minion, you take its damage. That's good. Is this better than Execute? Does the does the mana cost make it better than Execute? I don't think so. So Execute, yeah, you have to damage the minion. That hurts it. This one you don't need the damage minion. You just need to take the damage. So again, is it better than Execute? All right. Because again, I go back here. I go to the Warlock one. You have before, and this isn't a class that values itself. like Rift Cleaver, your hero takes damage equal to the minion's health. So, and that one, a 7 mana 6/5 with a powerful effect like that. So yeah, it's not Rift Cleaver. I'm not saying it is. I'm just trying to think, how would that effect be in Warrior? You kind of already do this with weapons. So it's kind of like a 1 mana 10/1 weapon. Trying to think, how would I say that? 1 mana 10/1 weapon would be what? That can't go face. I think it's going to end up being like a 3-star card. I think. Yeah, would I say that's a 4-star card? Probably not. Maybe 4. I'm trying. Yeah, this is actually a really hard one to value because it can't go face, so it can only go on minions. You have to take the damage to be able to clear it off. It can't go. I'm going to be generous, and I'm going to say it's a 4-star card. I don't know if it's a 4-star card. But yeah, okay. Onyxia Drake, 4 mana, 4/5 taunt. Deal damage equal to your armor to an enemy minion. 4 mana, 4/5 taunt. That's good. That was Circus Amalgam, and that was a high 3-star card. The bonus here, like maybe in the mid game, you get to armor up and you get to clear off a small thing with this. So yeah, this is definitely 4 stars. And like there are situations where you can combo this with cards that give you armor. That's not going to happen all the time. Yeah, definitely a 4-star card. I think there's a Druid card that's like a 4/5 taunt. I'm not sure about that. Okay. Shoulder check. Tradable. Give a minion +2/+1 and rush. One mana +2/+1 by itself is decent buff. Like warriors don't really have buffs like that. That's more of a paladin thing. The rush is obviously really strong because you just put this on a big. Like this is one of those cards. You put it on something like, I'm trying to think. You put this on a big card and it makes your big cards be decent. I don't think it's as good as Rocket Boots, which is like 2 mana, give a minion rush, draw a card. I don't think it's that good because I think the draw a card thing makes it more powerful. Like the 2/1 buff, it's a good buff for the mana cost, but it really doesn't do that much. The rush makes it actually do something. Like, without checking things, I'm just going to say Gut says it's a 3-star card. I don't think it's as good as these cards. I think both of these cards are a lot more independently good. And there's going to be a lot of times where, well, I know it's got the tradable here. There's going to be a lot of times where the rush isn't going to be impactful. Like if you got Divine Shield, obviously that's really, really good to put it on there to give it rush. The tradable is obviously useful. I think it's a little bit worse than the other cards. All right. Neutral cards. Let me see here. Gear Grubber. Taunt. If you end your turn with any unspent mana, reduce this card's cost by 1. All right. So, immediate thing I think of, turn 1, you do nothing. With this card in your hand, you've got a 3 mana 4/5 taunt. That's insanely powerful. So, if this card is in your opening hand, you're suddenly not punished for doing that. That by itself, the fact that it can be a 3 mana 4/5 just by doing absolutely nothing if it's in your opening hand makes it a 4-star card by itself. Is it going to be 5 stars? No, not at all. Yeah, just that. Like a 4 mana 4/5 taunt is like a high 3-star card. So just the fact that this can very easily be a 3 mana 4/5 taunt doing nothing different other than just like not playing stuff on 1, which you tend not to do, that's easily 4 stars. And then we're in the 4-star range. Like, out of curiosity, where would I put it in the 4-star range? That's between 75 and 90. Better than Proto... Would it be an 80? I think it'd be like right in here. 3 mana, 4/5 taunt. I think that'd be something along the lines of Tar Creeper. It's basically a better Tar Creeper. Yeah, it's basically a better Tar Creeper. That's the best way to describe it. It's a better Tar Creeper, and Tar Creeper's right around here, so it'd be probably right around here in the low 80s. Okay, so yeah, 4 stars. Okay, next one here. Onyxian Warder. If you're holding a dragon, summon 2/1 whelps with Rush. There was a card, Blackwing Corruptor, in Blackrock Mountain, which was a 5 mana, 5/4. If you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage to an enemy minion. So 2/1 whelps with Rush is similar to that. The stats are similar. This is a little more defensive. And like even in the best meta, Blackwing Corruptor never really got beyond. And this is way back when Hearthstone was a lot. The power level was a lot lower, and it never really, like, even in the best decks, it would only be like maybe about a 60, even if you went for it. So I would say this is like a borderline 2-star. This is like a borderline between 1 and 2 stars. I will be generous because I know they're going to do a lot of dragon sets for the next couple of months. I will say this is a 2-star card. Okay. Whoop Bunker. Frenzy and Honorable Kill. Draw a card. So the Frenzy effect's going to be there. So it's 3 mana, 1/5, draw a card. That's probably like high 60s. Honorable Kill, you can do that. You kind of got to manipulate it a little bit. So it's potentially 3 mana, draw 2 cards with like a body. Usually 3 mana, 3 mana, draw a card. Except possibly by the point you get to the late game. So the issue is by the point you get to like the very, very late game, like the Frenzy may not actually go off because things might be big enough where you can't go off. But usually at about 5 health, that's good enough for Frenzy to go off. So where am I on this? I think it's worse, in a sense, than a lot of the 3 mana draw a card things that are already in Arena. So I'm trying to think here. I'm trying to think which ones are in Arena. Okay, Volpera Scoundrel. Volpera Scoundrel is significantly better. So it's not a 4-star card. The question is it a 3-star card or is it a 2-star card? I'm going to go, I'll be nice and I'll say 3 stars. This could end up being like a 2-star card. But I think 3 mana 1, 3 mana draw card, probably like a low 3-star card. With potential to draw 2. But it's like right on that edge. Kazakusen. If all the minions in your deck are dragons, cast a custom treasure, craft a custom deck of treasures. That's not going to happen. So 1 star, yeah, 1 star. 8 mana, 8/8. That's bad. Raid Boss Onyxia. Rush immune while you control a whelp. Battlecry. Summon 6/2/1 whelps with Rush. 8 mana, 8/8. Rush immune. That summons 6/2/1 whelps. That's pretty insane. Yep. That's a 6-star card, definitely. Alright, so it's 6 stars, not a question. You get to clear one big thing. You get to clear a bunch of little things. I'm going to wait for the day that someone uses all the whelps to... I'm not sure if it's just Onyxia's whelps or if there are other whelps count for this, but I'm going to wait for the day where someone controls a whelp and they send that whelp into different people. And they send all the whelps in. Then they throw in Onyxia, and then Onyxia gets damaged, and they get upset because they forgot how the mechanic worked. All right, so if I say this is easily a 6-star card. This is easily a 100 plus card. Where will I put it here? Better than Ysera? I don't think so. Maybe. These are cards that just kind of like have to live. Like, it's better than a lot of these cards. It's better than kind of like this set here. So I think it's in the 110. I don't know if it's a 7-star card. Okay, I'm going to go 7 stars. I'm actually going to go 7 stars on this. And here is why. You don't have to trade off your whelps. So what happens if you trade off like 3 whelps? You play this on the board, you kill 3 enemy minions, you got an 8/8, you still got 3 2/1 whelps left. Your opponent has to somehow clear off those other whelps. And because it's immune, I forget if immune, can you hard remove something that has immune? I actually don't know. I think you can hard remove something that has immune. But, so, okay, hard removal is a possibility. But if your opponent can't clear off those 2/1 whelps, pretty much anything you play is just going to be farmed by the Onyxia here. So this is a card where it just doesn't clear the board. Like, it doesn't just clear the board. It provides you a win condition. It provides you with a situation where the opponent cannot come back. And in almost pretty much every case, it's going to be an insane card. So yeah, I'm going, if in the arena when I'm playing it, I'm going to pick this over Ysera. All right, so yeah, all right. That is that. While I upload the YouTube video, I'm going to make like a quick Google document and put these things in here. All right. So if you guys watched, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I will see you guys. I'll see you guys in the arena. All right. Take care.